27 shots, 74% possession. A multi-million-dollar frontline featuring the absolute best superstars in world football. On paper, the opening match of Group H at the World Cup was supposed to be a total slaughter. Spain, the European giants, versus Cape Verde, a tiny island nation making its tournament debut. But what happened over those 90 minutes didn't just break the tournament wide open, it completely broke the internet. A 40-year-old goalkeeper playing in the Portuguese second division became an overnight global sensation. His name is Josimar Dias. This is the unbelievable story of Vozinha, the wall of Cape Verde. To understand the wall that Spain couldn't break, you have to look at the concrete streets of Mindelo on the island of São Vicente. Long before he was denying multi-millionaire forward lines, Josimar was a young boy playing street football with an impossible disadvantage. He was always the youngest, playing against boys who were much older, bigger, and stronger. He didn't have official goalkeeper gloves. He didn't have grass fields. Every single day, he came home covered in bruises, cuts, and scrapes from the hard ground. He later admitted that in his neighborhood, because the boys were much older, he took a lot of hits. But he was competitive and rebellious. He simply didn't like to lose. Every time he went home upset, the older boys would taunt him, saying he was going home to complain to his grandmother. That is how the nickname stuck. Vozinha, Little Granny. But the struggle wasn't just physical. It was a brutal mental balancing act. In a small island nation like Cape Verde, making it to Europe as a pro footballer is a statistical miracle. For years, football couldn't pay his bills. While practicing with local semi-pro clubs like Batuk and Mindelense, Josimar had to focus heavily on his studies and find normal work. He had no choice. He had to think about a realistic future while his peers in Europe were already entering elite youth academies. While football's biggest stars became celebrities in their 20s, Vozinha spent years bouncing between forgotten leagues across Europe and Africa. Moldova, Cyprus, Slovakia, Angola, chasing a dream that seemed further away every season. To many, his dream of a football career looked like a hobby that was running out of time. But deep down, every time he took a hit on the concrete or buried his head in a textbook, after an exhausting training session, he was holding on to one specific burning vision. A dream born when his father named him after the legendary Brazilian defender of the 1986 World Cup. He didn't just want to be a professional, he wanted to play in the FIFA World Cup. Think about the sheer persistence required. Right before the World Cup, after playing for the Portuguese second division side GD Chaves, he was actually released. At 40 years old, he entered the biggest tournament on earth as a free agent. Most players his age were sitting on pundit television sets or enjoying retirement. But Vozinha kept going through the rejection and the waiting, because his ultimate childhood dream was finally within arm's reach. Cape Verde had qualified. At exactly 40 years and 12 days old, the boy who used to get bruised on the concrete stepped onto the pitch. He was officially the oldest goalkeeper to ever make a debut in a country's first ever World Cup match. The task ahead of him seemed terrifying. Spain attacked in waves, shot after shot crashed toward goal. Every minute felt like the dam was about to burst, but somehow Vozinha kept standing. One save, then another, then another. He tipped a lethal Mikel Oyarzabal header right over the crossbar and blocked point-blank efforts from Ferran Torres and Aymeric Laporte. By the end of the night, he had produced 7 crucial stops and frustrated some of the world's most expensive attackers. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard read, Spain 0, Cape Verde 0. The tiny nation had pulled off the unthinkable, and a 40-year-old free agent was named the official player of the match. As his teammates mobbed him, Vozinha collapsed to the turf and wept uncontrollably. The world saw a historic football upset, but behind those tears was the raw weight of a lifetime of sacrifice. In his post-match interview, the veteran keeper bared his soul, explaining that the people who built the foundation for his dream weren't there to see it. He cried because he grew up with his grandparents, and unfortunately, they passed away a few years before. They did everything for him and his life. To add to the heartbreak, His mother didn't manage to be there because of rigid, last-minute visa financial bond regulations. He had spent his youth studying to secure a future, taking hits on the streets to build his resilience, and working in silence for decades. On the greatest night of his life, he proved that a childhood dream is worth fighting for, no matter how long it takes. The story takes an even crazier turn. During the live broadcast, a massive Brazilian streaming channel called Cazé TV noticed his small social media presence and urged millions of live viewers to find his profile. The internet responded instantly. In less than 24 hours, his Instagram following exploded from 50,000 to over 10 million followers, surpassing massive global sports icons in a single day. The football nomad was finally a global icon. Vozinha's story is proof that your struggles, your studies, and your background don't define your ceiling. If you keep pushing, your moment will come. Spain brought world-class superstars. Cape Verde brought belief. And on one unforgettable night, a goalkeeper nicknamed Little Grandmother reminded the football world that dreams don't expire with age. What did you think of Vozinha's legendary performance against Spain? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more inspiring deep-dive football documentaries just like this, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.